First off, if I may, Congressman, stop and frisk. What's your reaction to that development that came out this morning?
Well, I'm not surprised. I was following the hearings, and it certainly seemed as if the judge was going to rule that way. You know, like in anything else, there's a delicate balance. It's sort of like what we are fighting in Congress, you know, whether or not you want surveillance, but you don't want too much. You don't want it to be too intrusive. Stop and frisk has been intrusive, and obviously the judge has ruled that way. It's a balance to try to get crime down, but at the same time protecting people's civil liberties. So it's tough.
Should Bloomberg appeal? Do you agree with what that judgment was?
Well, I haven't read it. I just heard snippets of it, and I think that anyone in New York would have told you that this is how the judge was going to rule.
Should he appeal?
I don't tell Michael Bloomberg what to do. I think he will appeal because he feels very strongly about it, and I think we'll see.
Okay, great. Let's move on to Eric Holder. As we were saying earlier, in about 3 hours, expected to make that statement. Expected to say prisons should be used, quote, to punish, deter, and rehabilitate, not merely to convict, warehouse, and forget. You know, 2010, I know you supported a change. Is this what you were seeing? Is this what you want as the best strategy?
Well, I think it's time to move on. You know, a lot of people who have minor drug offenses find the rest of their lives ruined from mistakes that they made when they were very young. I think we have to be smart about it. We have to balance it. You know, our jails are full of people with drug offenses. Is that really the best way to go? Or might there be another way where we could try to rehabilitate them? They could pay a price, but it doesn't mean years and years and years in prison. And frankly, our prisons are also overcrowded, and we're spending lots of money that we don't have. And I think it's time for a reassessment. And I think this is a good thing that Eric Holder is doing.
Do you believe there's bipartisan support for this, as we were talking about with Jackie a second ago?
Well, I think there'll be some bipartisan support. I still think it's a tough sell amongst the Republican crowd in the House.
Okay. I want to move on to this. You're the ranking member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. I want to switch gears, move to what we've been watching about what's happening in the Middle East and Russia. Of course, is the issue of President Obama canceling his one-on-one meeting with the president of Russia. You add that in with the asylum to Edward Snowden. When you look at the criticisms to the president right now, should he do more, and how might he do more?
Well, first of all, what Putin did, what Russia did with Edward Snowden, I think is outrageous, and I think the president was absolutely right to cancel his meeting with Mr. Putin. But I think there's more that we will do. There's more that we can do.
Like what?
Well, Russia has an abysmal human rights record, getting worse under Putin. We cannot just turn the other way and not publicly criticize them or put pressure on them, particularly with regards to the LGBT community. Russia is really slipping backwards very, very fast. I also think that if Putin's going to play these games, then we need to be less cognizant or less concerned about his sensitivities. You know, when we make our decisions on missile defense, we need to make them based on what's good for this country, not on what Putin may like or not like. And it's the same thing with a host of all other issues. If he's not going to play the game with us, then we don't really need to worry about what he thinks.
I want to get in some sound here, some from over the weekend. First of all, President Obama, then John McCain talking about Putin. Take a listen to this.
I don't have a bad personal relationship with Putin. When we have conversations, they're candid, they're blunt. Oftentimes they're constructive. I know the press likes to focus on body language, and he's got that kind of slouch, looking like the bored kid in the back of the classroom. But the truth is that when we're in conversations together, oftentimes it's very productive.
The president comparing him to a kid in the back of the classroom, I think, is very indicative of the president's lack of appreciation of who Vladimir Putin is. He's an old KGB colonel that has no illusions about our relationship. It does not care about a relationship with the United States.
So it sounds like here, Congressman, that you agree with Senator McCain.
Well, I agree with both of them. I think when you look at Putin, some people, George W. Bush said he looked into Putin's eyes and saw his soul. I look into Putin's eyes and see three words, KGB. I think that's true. But on the other hand, the President of the United States needs to not disregard the important relationship with Russia. Russia is helping us in Afghanistan. They've been obstructionist in terms of Iran and Syria and everything we've tried to do. They've blocked us. So what I'm really just saying is that Putin feels he's acting in the best interest of his country, and we've got to act in the best interest of ours. Russia's not a friend or an ally, but they're not a country that can be disregarded. I don't think you throw the baby out with the bathwater, but I think we need to be tough with Putin.
Okay, Congressman Elliot Engel, thank you so much on this Monday. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring